In the headlines, INEC extends deadline for party primaries by 6 days as APC postpones presidential convention to June 6. PDP holds presidential convention in Abuja Saturday as Hayatuddin quits race, cites monetization of process. President Muhammadu Buhari assures that his administration will ensure every child has access to education. And on the foreign scene, 15 dead, 3 missing in southern China torrential rains. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. We begin with politics. The Independent National Electoral Commission has extended the deadline for political parties to conduct their primaries for the 2023 general elections. INEC's National Commissioner and Chairman of Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, announced this in a statement on Friday in Abuja. The Commission agreed to extend the deadline for the conduct of party primaries by 6 days. Leadership of the political parties under the auspices of the Inter-Party Advisory Council had appealed to the Commission to reconsider its earlier position and alter the timetable.
Kindly take a second look at the timetable, which we considered tight in respect of the fact that we are putting this electoral law 2022 to test for the first time, and the fact that anything you are doing for the first time, you may, make some mistakes.
It appears that the parties have now presented a modified request for what the chairman calls a little adjustment. We will now discuss further to understand the basis for requesting this little adjustment, and thereafter the Commission will meet and a statement will be issued.
The All Progressives Congress has postponed its special convention for presidential primaries for the 2023 general elections from May 29 to June 6. National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Felix Morka, announced this in a statement hours after the Independent National Electoral Commission extended the deadline for parties to conduct their primaries. INEC announced the extension of the deadline for political parties to conduct their primaries by 6 days on Friday evening. The Commission had initially announced the deadline of June 3rd from the presidential primaries. The extension of the deadline covers the 6-day period between June 4th and 9th. In the same vein, the People's Democratic Party has frowned on INEC's decision to extend the deadline for party primaries by 6 days. PDP spokesperson Debo Ologunagba, who described INEC's decision as similar to changing the goalposts in the middle of a game, stressed that certainty of elections is the bedrock of democracy. Speaking at the velodrome of the Moshood Abiola Stadium, Abuja, where the PDP is scheduled to hold its special national convention on Saturday, Ologunagba warns of grave consequences for the country if the certainty of elections and the timelines become doubtful. Similarly, plans are in top gear for the People's Democratic Party presidential primary slated for Saturday in Abuja. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, Chairman Security Committee, inspected the velodrome at the National Stadium in Abuja, venue of the presidential primary. Correspondent Kabir Lawal reports on the level of the party's preparation and expectations during the elections.
15 aspirants are eyeing the party ticket to contest the 2023 presidential election. This is where delegates will decide to fly the party flag. Governor Oluseyi Abiodun Makinde, who is the chairman on Security Committee of the party, revealed that the level of preparations has gone far, adding that party delegates have been arriving the Federal Capital Territory for the primary slated for Saturday. He expressed the party's readiness to conduct a hitch-free primary and assured that the party will do party primary without any security hitch. Some respondents said that the level of preparation is encouraging, adding that the primary will be conducted in a peaceful atmosphere.
A lot of hard work has gone into this. and you can see everybody is up and doing, and we're still pushing. So we're looking forward to a very excellent convention tomorrow. It's a family contest, so what do you expect? Somebody is going to win, on the ballots, but at the end of the day, we all be winners because it's PDP giving the next president to Nigeria.
Others who make BRICS business called on security agencies to allow them make some money to enable them feed their families.
My expectation, I want, I pray for calm weather. I pray that everything should move on smoothly, peacefully. Let there be no crisis and everything. For us that are selling is opportunity. If everything moves on well, I think we'll be happy. But if there's crisis, we won't be able to achieve our expectation. So we're also praying that God should just intervene, God should take control, let there be understanding.
I just wish to give them that they should conduct it peacefully and everybody should exercise decorum. We want peace. I don't pray for violence. I want everything to go smoothly. At the end of the day, let the winner, whoever that is the loser, should accept it in good faith, and the winner too should carry everybody along. So I pray for a peaceful exercise.
All is now set for the preparation of PDP presidential primaries that will hold on Saturday in Abuja. This is Velodrome, and PDP candidates, especially the organizing committee members, have been coming to inspect how the place will look like tomorrow. And also security agents are here, and all hands are on deck to ensure the smooth running of the presidential primaries here in Abuja come Saturday. In Abuja, Kabir Lowell, Trust TV News.
Meanwhile, a People's Democratic Party presidential aspirant for the 2023 elections, Mohammed Hayatuddin, has pulled out of the race. The ex-banker made this known in a letter to the national chairman of the party, Senator Iyorchia Ayu. Hayatuddin's decision to quit the race is coming days after a former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, announced his decision to quit the presidential race and resign from the PDP. Hayatuddin was quoted as saying that he quit the race because it was, among other things, highly monetized. Crisis is rocking the All Progressives Congress in Taraba State after the emergence of Senator Emmanuel Bocha as state APC governorship candidate. Chairman of APC governorship primary elections in the state, Lawrence Onuchukwu, said Bocha defeated all the other 8 aspirants to emerge winner of the election. However, co-contestants in the election threatened to leave the party if the election was upheld by the party. The report.
Lawrence Onuchukwu, who had earlier on Thursday night at the headquarters of the Taraba Police Command declared that election could not hold in the state because members of the committee were held hostage and harassed with death threats. He, however, disclosed that all the issues surrounding the conduct of the primary elections were later resolved amicably among all stakeholders of the party.
There's some issues that didn't allow us to start the election as planned. And this evening I want to speak to you again that up to now these issues were not able to resolve among us. And as you can see, I'm not really in good state of mind. I'm an unhappy person because I came all the way from national headquarters to perform my duty to the best of my ability.
But 6 APC governorship aspirants threatened to quit the party if the national leadership of the party failed to address irregularities emanating from the primary election in the state. Spokesperson of the group, Senator Abubakar Yusuf, issued the threat on Friday while addressing newsmen in Jalingo in company of 5 other aspirants.
We want to inform you that due process of the law will be followed to make sure that we obey, we follow up the internal process of the party and also the legal way according to the Electoral Act of 2022.
The 6 aspirants, David Kente, Senator Yusuf, Danladi Kifasi, Anthony Manzo, Alhaji Saleh Mamman and Professor Sani Yahya, agreed that no election was held in the state, insisting that the election returning officer will declare a purported result at the airport. He said that all stakeholders had met at the headquarters of the police and agreed for the suspension of the said election for a more convenient time. Yusuf said the aspirants will adopt internal party mechanism and justice to get redress over the primary election infraction in the party.
The Supreme Court has dismissed the appeal filed by Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi seeking to stop his probe over an alleged 96 billion naira fraud. In a lead judgment prepared by Justice Emmanuel Ogi but read by Justice Adamu Jairo, the Apex Court dismissed the appeal of Amechi on grounds that the issue of not being given fair hearing does not arise as no one is on trial. Meanwhile, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike on Friday said the prosecution of Rotimi Amechi over an alleged 96 billion naira fraud will depend on leaders of the state. Amechi, a former Rivers State Governor and ex-Minister of Transportation, is running for president on the platform of the All Progressives Congress. Wike had set up a panel to probe Amechi's dealings after he became governor, and the Supreme Court case was an attempt by Amechi to set aside the recommendations of the panel. Wike said Amechi had mismanaged state funds through Sahara Energy and Tonye Cole, who won the APC governorship primary on Thursday. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. Educationists provide alternative disciplinary measure. Do stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Let's take a look at some of our major stories. You heard that INEC extends deadline for party primaries by 6 days as APC postpones presidential convention to June 6. We also told you that PDP holds presidential convention in Abuja Saturday as Hayatuddin quits race, cites monetization of process. Some more news. President Muhammadu Buhari has called for more concerted and institutionalized efforts to ameliorate the suffering of refugees and internally displaced persons in Africa. The president made the call at the 16th African Union Extraordinary Session of Assembly of Heads of State and Government on Humanitarian Crisis holding in Africa and Pledging Conference holding in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea. President Buhari, who said only collective and coordinated approach would make a difference, stated that more than 5 million people had been displaced in the Lake Chad region, with 70% of them mostly Nigerians. President Buhari, in a statement from the Senior Special Advisor on Media, Garba Shehu, pledged $3 million for the establishment of an African Union humanitarian agency to cater for the growing needs of displaced persons and refugees.
As you are aware, Mr. Chairperson, the world is confronted by emerging threats such as climate change, resulting in global warming, rising levels of waters, in some climes shrinking rivers like the Lake Chad. All these lead to distortions in our aquatic and consequently ecological systems. Conflicts, violent extremism, and terrorist attacks, including herdsmen and farmers' clashes, and banditry led to the displacement of whole communities, thus rendering thousands of people homeless. Mr. Chairman, of the over 5 million internally displaced persons in the Lake Chad region alone, about 70% are estimated to be from Nigeria. And so, we cannot deny the fact that we have a very dangerous humanitarian crisis in our hands. This development calls for a collective and coordinated response from all of us. Government established internally displaced persons camps in every part of the country for refugees, returnee migrants, and displaced persons, where food, shelter, clothing, and medical care and other livelihood support are provided for all displaced persons. Nigeria will continue to support the agency, and so we pledge the sum of $3 million United States dollars in support of agency. Thank you for your attention.
Anambra State Governor Chukwuma Soludo says his administration will continue to promote the rights and privileges of Anambra children. Speaking at this year's Children's Day celebration at Dr. Alex Ekweme Square, Awka, Governor Soludo made a clarion call for strengthening of support systems for the child in the best possible way. The governor explained that the event is aimed at reorientating the children and aid their development, emphasizing that if it is done across tribal and religious lines, the child will reach its full potential as the future leader of the Nigerian nation.
Leave them to go to school. It is not their fault that you didn't do yours, you didn't go to school. Leave them to go to school. But I want to assure you, the security agencies and what we are putting in place, I think it won't be long. Well, we'll all be back in school on Mondays. If not this Monday, subsequent Mondays, I am very confident that with the measures we are putting in place, all our children in all schools will be back to school every Monday.
Corporal punishment remains a widely used disciplinary technique in most African families and schools to shape children and make them grow into responsible citizens. Despite being generally accepted that corporal punishment helps in child development, it has been a subject of controversy among psychologists that a thin line separates correctional corporal punishment from abuse. In this report, Zainab Bala speaks to educationists on better ways of correcting children.
To the school, but she has not gone to the school. That will is indicating something that you will do.
The family and the school are the first and most important agents of socialization, where a child learns to explore and imbibe social norms. In this process of learning, a child could exhibit certain behaviors that parents and teachers feel inclined to correct, especially when those actions are judged to be against acceptable patterns of human behavior. But the method or technique to fix the problem has been the subject of debate among educators and child rights advocates. Corporal punishment, which involves parents, teachers, or supervising adults subjecting children to pain through flogging or by any other means, has been frowned at in many fora, leaving many wondering what is the most acceptable way of correcting a child.
Today's education policy has been abolished. Corporal punishment is a disciplinary action taken against a learner or a child due to misconduct. Some of this misconduct can be as a result of not going by the rules and regulations of the school. And infringing this corporal punishment, the Child Rights Act has abolished it completely in our schools, most especially at the basic school.
For separating a child from his mate in a class. If a child does something, you say, Abdullah, come here, stay here. Well, you continue your lesson. Abdullah will feel being separated from his mate. It's a way of punishing a child. Then another one, you call a child and then give him an assignment in a class different from the one the class are carrying on. It's another way to punish a child.
You can ask that child to write, I'm sorry. Or you ask the child to write, I'm sorry, I will not do it again. I'm sorry, I will not do it again. Up to 50 times. This will make that child to change.
This is the public primary school in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. They have devised a better way of dealing with unacceptable behaviors. Every week, they hold a mentorship session, pairing a teacher to a group of students to create an enabling environment for the students to have a rapport with their mentors.
My little boy said, from what Promise said, that late is a bad habit. This mentorship is very good. Why it is good is that he enlightens children on what is good and what is not good. Mostly the effects on them in the school and the society. It made them to know what to do at the right time and what not to do even when they mingle with their people.
My uncle is not used to get punishment. I love my uncle. My uncle loves me. She told me, say, this thing is not good and this thing good. So then they do it again.
I love my uncle. He teaches anything that we don't understand. He reminds us again, say any question, then you understand.
As a parent, if my child come to home and tell me this is the kind of punishment he or her auntie gave to him, I'm going to ask him or her, what did you do? If he tell me, the next day I will go to their school and contact the teacher. This kind of punishment is bad.
Corporal punishment itself is relative among those who subscribe to it due to the way it is administered or handled by those correcting the offending kids. This boy was asked to go home after school, but decided to go along with his friends, leaving his mother worried. So when he gets home and you hear he has been barred from going out for a period of time or subjected to some other forms of punitive measure, the idea is to forestall a repeat of unacceptable behavior. The UN Convention on the Rights of the Child describes corporal punishment as the most widespread form of violence against children, in which physical force is used and intended to cause some degree of pain or discomfort.
On the foreign scene, at least 15 people have died in torrential rains across southern China, state media reported on Saturday. 8 died in 2 building collapses from landslides in Fujian province near China's east coast, while 5 others died and 3 were missing in Yunnan province, about 1,200 kilometers away in southern China. 2 out of 3 children swept away by flood waters on Friday in Xinjiang died, while in Fujian, 5 victims were found in a collapsed factory building and 3 others in a collapsed residential building. Heavy rain started on Thursday evening in Wuping County, flooding streets with muddy water and partially washing away parts of some roads. The storm, which damaged crops, cut power, and destroyed 39 houses in the county, led to the evacuation of more than 1,600 people. And finally, in sports, new Super Eagles coach Jose Santos Pacero may not have all the players that he desires in the team for the clash against Mexico, but says he will make use of those who are available. The Portuguese is without the services of a number of key players, including Captain Ahmed Musa from the prestige friendly games against Mexico and Ecuador in the United States of America. Also out of the squad are goalkeeper Maduka Okoye, defenders Zaidu Sanusi and Abdullahi Shehu, midfielders Ogeneka Roetebo, Azubu Ike Okechukwu, Al-Hassan Yusuf and Samson Tijani. Others are forwards Samuel Chukwueze and Sadiq Omar, who are all unable to make it to the United States due to a combination of factors, including visa hitches, injuries, and career concerns. Pacero, while reacting to the unavailability of the players, said he has chosen to be positive and resolved to work with resources available to make Nigeria football great again. Stay tuned to Trust TV as we bring you live feed from PDP Presidential Convention. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.